than hobbyists. I assure you we are here.
Hello.
Hello. We're en route. It's 5:25 AM and it's new model day.
Very dark.
Very dark.
Very early.
We'll say hello again when there's some form of light source.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Right guys, petrol's still 138.9 a litre. Get yourself to Broughton Tesco's. So we're halfway-ish currently, I believe.
Yeah. Another hour to go. We're heading up north.
We're heading into Yorkshire. So we've got our cloth caps and some whippets in the back.
I want a pie.
The pies will be good. So currently on the motorway. What motorway on? M62 is it?
Yeah, M62.
M62.
Chugging along at 55 mile an hour.
Could do with being resurfaced, but that's just my own personal opinion. Yeah, hopefully we'll hit services soon because do with a comfort break maybe.
My bladder's.
Yeah. So there we go. So we'll touch base soon. Right, just touching base again actually. Just had a discussion about allotments and how a waste of time they are. My theory is that allotments are dying a death because people can get divorced a lot easier. Back in the day, you'd use an allotment to hide from the wife.
Mm-hmm. You'd be in your little shed, you'd have your beer, your hanky on your head, sitting in your deck chair enjoying the sun.
Copy Racing Times.
Or any other content.
Or any other content. Yeah. But yeah, and it's like in this day and age now, that you've got to follow rules, there's bureaucracy, there's regulations.
You're told when you can grow, what you can't grow, you gotta be in season. Even an allotment now, you haven't got the freedom to do what you want.
No. So yeah, for us, allotment's a lot for us.
Yeah. Do you have to pay for an allotment?
Yeah.
You do have to pay.
So it's like is it like a yearly fee? So you got to. I think the way it works is you've got to apply that you want this bit of ground, and then if you get accepted to having a little piece of ground, you then have to pay fees. And I think that if you have a building on site, you've got to pay more, and if you've got water, you've got to pay more again. So there's like tiers of nonsense.
If they have water, I assume you'd have to use water pots and stuff, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I think I don't know.
Do it all by hand.
We'll have to ring someone that's got an allotment to find out what's going on.
Waiting lists as well.
Yeah.
It's like these urban allotments in London.
Oh, with the dreadlocks and stuff and tie-dye.
Yeah. Like in Camden. I think in places like Camden they do have urban allotments. On rooftops and all stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like all these, what they call it, urban initiatives.
Apiaries as well. They have beehives on top of buildings.
I wouldn't be opposed to having a beehive in the garden though.
Yeah.
Mainly just to keep the neighbours at bay. Anyway, that's our little slot on the allotment. So, yeah, there we go. We eventually arrived at a motorway services, so we could relieve ourselves. It was still quite early, so it was quiet, but the toilet smelled horrendous, made worse by the artificial alpine bleach everything was covered in. We went into the little shop that they had and spent a king's ransom on 2 cans of cold pop, but they have you at their mercy and service is always without a smile guaranteed. At this point, the need for coffee became critical as my caffeine levels were at an all-time low. I have heard Greggs has improved their coffee game, so we went there. I can report Greggs hasn't improved their coffee game. Once back on the motorway, we discussed the plans. We did take quite a lot of cars with us in the hope of making some videos en route. We did have an idea to visit a couple of villages that we wanted to see in the hope of making tour videos, as I am still keen to find the perfect English village for one of these types of videos. But sadly they were all a bit bigger and were verging on towns rather than being a village. or it was just a row of uninteresting buildings. So we hopped back onto the motorway to go on a bit further. We did go on the highest motorway in England though, as we crossed the Pennines. Interestingly, when they were building this motorway, a farmer refused to move in a similar way to the old man in Gremlins 2. The solution was to build the motorway around his house. I don't think that there were any victors in this petty squabble, but it's a point of interest. We then finally found somewhere to make a little video. We're not where we wanted to be, but we're where we ended up. First video done. There's a bit of a tour, which no doubt you'll see or have seen, I'm not sure the order yet. Weren't really expecting to come here, but because we went to Pudsey and it was a washout because it was a lot bigger than we thought, and it's full of cyclists and masons and stuff.
Annual flower show today as well.
Yeah, so that had to be scrapped. So yeah, we've come here, we've done the tour, we liked it, hopefully you will.
Yeah, a bit more of a drive through Yorkshire, see what we come across.
That's it.
More locations.
We did drive past someone before who had 6 whippets, so that was quite a turnout for events.
Yeah.
But yeah, off to the next location, I suppose. We ventured deeper and deeper into Yorkshire. One thing that we did notice was the amount of people running for fun. I've often said, if you ever see me running, I would strongly suggest that you ran also, as it must be something blooming big that's chasing me. Modelsport is based in Yorkshire, in a town called Otley. I've never been to Otley before. In honesty, I've never even heard of it. When I was younger, model shops were quite common in towns, but as the hobby died out due to game boxes and play cubes and so on, most of them closed down. One that has survived is Modelsport, and the chief engineer and myself were very keen to check it out, as we have ordered online from them quite a few times. We finally reached our destination, and the outside gave a taste of wonder of what could be inside. Also, good news, they do have their own car park around the back, so that makes life easier, especially if you're buying kits from them. I have decided to blur the footage because I don't want to create any spoilers in case any of you are planning a visit. I couldn't take that from you. What I will say though is that they do have quite a few good models on show. While we were there, the shop was very busy with people coming in and out buying stuff, but we did not feel rushed. They had a good stock, but someone had bought something the chief engineer was coveting a couple of hours earlier, so it might be worth pre-ordering. The staff member we spoke to did not sound condescending, which can sometimes happen in specialist shops, but he did a great job in serving us. Even though we kept remembering things that we wanted to look at, so we had to keep going into the back to look for stuff. All in all, I'd say Modelsport has a solid 4 out of 5 from me. It's well worth the visit. They even let us keep the chief engineer's van in the car park while we went to explore Otley and get some lunch. Okay, so I think we've cleared out Modelsport today.
Spent a few quid.
But it's worth it. Got more bits in the bags.
A couple of nice kits.
Given us some free stickers for our trouble. So yeah, let's go and find somewhere for lunch and have a wee. Otley is a market town, and it was very busy as a market was on. I bought Mrs. RC so-and-so some cannolis as a peace offering for disappearing for the day. The chief engineer asked a town crier where to buy a pie from, and he pointed us to a pub. The pub wasn't called the Maypole, they must have just found the sign, but after our travels we were finally in Yorkshire with a pie. So, successful trip to Modelsport. We've had a pie. It's very nice.
Very happy about that.
A bit full and tired now.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go and see if we can find another destination before we have to head home.
Yeah, let's go see what we can find.
That's it.
And hopefully we won't spend any more money.
I hope not. Alright then, bye.
Bye-bye.
Somehow we found ourselves at Emmerdale Farm, but then we got lost.
So, there's a route there. It takes us through Bradford. Oh, there's the route that takes us. No, that's not for the longest. Pointless doing that. Fastest route.
We finally found the motorway and started heading home. It was a good day, and it was good to see what Modelsport was like. We did think we would find more locations for filming, but as we didn't know the area and it was a busy Saturday, we only did the Kirkstall Abbey tour. Even though we made the pilgrimage to Modelsport, and it is well worth the visit, I would add as a caveat that you should also support your local model shops. That being said, I know around the UK are some great model shops, and if you like this content, maybe we will visit them, but I would imagine that could get quite expensive. Who knows, maybe we could do a model shop world tour someday. Something to mull over. Anyway, the drive home was uneventful, but 3 weeks later, the chief engineer did receive a fine for £120 in the post. It seems Bradford City Council did not like his van's emissions. I think Bradford City Council has far more to worry about than an old van though. So you don't miss out on further videos and similar nonsense, please like, feel free to comment, definitely subscribe, and press that bell-shaped thingy to be woken up at all hours for further content. But for now, that's your lot.